Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Set, ready? 60 or. 50. Hey, we heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges. Ready?
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Twisting away.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They're going to be stopped up on this first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt. They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, Herbert, and that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And right away, he lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down. From midfield, here's Rodgers. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Touchdown, Packers! Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Off play action. Herbert. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Preston Smith comes in for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This one complete to Devin Funchess. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Let's go, D. Hey, switch gears. Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Deuce.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down.
Max 42. Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Man open. It's St. Brown. He's got it. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The end result, 21 yards. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Rodgers now already over 100 yards passing in this 1st quarter. It's 1st and 10. Now left side on the swing pass. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough. So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Now the Auburn product, Corey Grant. There he goes inside the 30. 20. Touchdown, Packers. Corey Grant, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the 1st half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And
Packer pressure, and down he goes. Preston Smith able to record his 5th sack of the season. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Looking to throw. Herbert going deep here for Watkins. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed in this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Holton Hill, the one there to bring him down. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
They always say that real estate is about location. Well, guess what? When it's a slant route, the quick ones, timing, timing, timing. Got to be able to lead your man with the football.
And the timing off right there, threw it behind him. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
Check safety, check safety. Check, crunch, crunch, crunch.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. He sets to fire deep. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Here now, Brett Maher. He hit from 62 in his rookie season of 2018. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that right there is something we've seen, 15 times in NFL history. That will officially go down as a 60-yard field goal.
And everything has to be absolutely perfect for this to have any chance. He's got to get it out low and really drive through it. And I tell you, that was one heck of a kick. One heck of a decision on the sideline to even try it as well.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Slam, slam, slam. He's crashing.
Topper! Ready?
Off the play fake. Herbert. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Returnable for Grant. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
All right. Focus, defense, focus. Check 52. Kill. Watch twist. Look again.
On second down now, it's Grant. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Check 58. Check 55, Mike. Man out. Check 30. Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike. Check, don't say nothing. Switch.
From the gun on third down, Rodgers. And the throw there going to be incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives. And they're going to sack him again. The 5th time they've gotten him today, and this one results in a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
On second down, it's Grant, and he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing incompletion on first down, then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Haywood.
That's right, baby. They don't want it.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. That's complete to his running back, Grant. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And this will be taken at the 13. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And right now, these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with it punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
To throw on second down, Herbert. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally brought down at the 38. 25 yards there on the catch and run. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, Herbert carrying one out for Crowder. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. To throw again, Herbert. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in.
We got this.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got the step on him. Now just a matter of...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. It's Xavier Rhodes there in on the stop.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Hey, 626.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kenny Clark in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. 22 yards there, a first down. This quarterback now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here. He'll let this go for the end zone. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. The Vikings on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun. Herbert. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent, that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Open on the left side. This is Valdez-Scantling. 30, the 20, 10, touchdown, Packers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling as the first half is winding down. The Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Ready.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. The final shot before break. Herbert looking deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up. The 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Check. Check hot.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
On second and 12, Rodgers. That's complete to the former Aggie, Jay Sternberger.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. He's got the tight end, Sternberger. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. First down. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. One back in the game. That's Jones. 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 7 yards there and a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. And now it's 2nd down.
After that throw, and it was definitely one that he would love to have back, I wonder what's going through his head. I wonder what kind of mind game he's playing with himself to get himself back on track. Because a lot of guys, that's what they do. They have little...
Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Ziggy Ansah able to record his 5th sack of the season. They go play action. Cousins. He's going to go deep for Funchess. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And he'll get this back across the midfield stripe and down to the 47-yard line.
Don't throw this way.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They'll go again to Jones. And he's going to be stopped just short of the first down marker at the Vikings 39.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Win 18. Here we go, D. Liz.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He's got the lane, and there he goes. Past the 20. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown.
Did I just see what I thought I saw? Did I just see what I thought? That had to be. Come on, say it for me. Say it for me. Who picked up that pass?
The free safety.
Oh, you got to have those great skills back there. Eyes, anticipation, great hands. And, of course, how about the fluid moves afterwards to take it all the way to the house?
Sounds like you're watching your old game film up here in your head.
Yeah, that's the dream I had of being that player. I just never was.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Check.
Again, it's Jones. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Chris Jones on the stop.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. To the tight end and complete. It's Sternberger over the middle. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 41-yard line. Rodgers now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Switch it. Over here.
Rodgers going to throw. Flushed out right. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers, he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. If they needed a break, they needed to make a play here in the third quarter defensively. They did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Now Cousins. He's going to launch this thing. Wait, and that's caught inside the 35. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Jamison Crowder. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. They're going to try and run. And he is not going to get in here. So the decision to go for 2 does not pay off as they're unable to cut any further into their deficit. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this third quarter. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the fourth quarter. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because that signifies there's a drive going on. You're in good spot, great place to run some of your best offense. Instead, they turn the ball over.
They turned the ball over last time. See if they can avoid doing it here. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Jones, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Jones. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 3rd and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go. Right left. Let's bring it. Kill.
And they try to sweep to Jones. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Vic Beasley, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been terrific so far. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good.
Here we go.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They start the drive with Cook. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Rashawn Gary in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Good route here.
Play fake. Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10.
Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Jump out. The field. Let's get off the field. Switch. Rush it.
Now they'll run it on the taunt. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. On 2nd down, it's Jones. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. The left side throw complete to Adams. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 34-yard line. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Green 18. Ain't no such thing as a loss. We take a win home.
And they will take a knee here. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through, and they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Packers, their hopes of a 500 season stay alive as they move to 7-8 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, it's another